All right, let's talk about Group 26 vocabulary. So, apprehension means kind of nervousness or unease. Of course, if you're feeling apprehensive, you are not feeling very good. Ardent means full of passion or fervor. Maybe you are ardent about an altruistic cause or some kind of volunteer work. Axiomatic means self evident or obvious. You don't have to prove it. Take, for example, gravity. If something were to cease, that means it's going to not continue, it's going to stop. Maybe one day war will cease, we'll no longer see any war. Conducive means good for something or like beneficial for something. Let's say, for example, studying is conducive for GRE results, for example. I don't know exactly how to say this word, corporeal or something. It means related to the body or fleshy. It's kind of like the opposite of the word spirit. Spirit is something, that's you can't define, whereas this means like actually related to the body. Doctrinaire means very kind of stubborn in your views. You're not going to change your views no matter what. You're going to stick to them. Typically, conservative views, it's going to be kind of sticking to the past rather than looking to the future. Eclectic means very varied, having a mixed assortment, very different. It's kind of the opposite of homogeneous. Equanimity means calmness, composure, poise, you're at peace. So if someone demonstrates equanimity, they have control over their emotions. Exorbitant often refers to price. So you can say like an exorbitant price, which means like ridiculously overpriced. It's like price gouging, taking advantage of people. If somebody's fickle, they can't make up their mind, or they're very picky, they jump from this decision to this decision to this decision. These people are very hard to please. Figurative means metaphorical, not literal, referring to something in a symbolic way, referring to a human as a lion, for example. That would be a figurative device. Flustered means very confused, very agitated. Maybe the GRE makes you feel flustered. If somebody's gullible, that means they believe anything. These are the people that are very easy to prank. Idiosyncratic means very unique or very peculiar to that individual. We all have our idiosyncratic habits, right? All right, let's go ahead and scroll down to the next 15. If something is incidental, that means it's not important, it's unnecessary, it's kind of like an afterthought. If something is ingrained, it is entrenched, very hard to change. We all have our ingrained habits. A person that is insolent is very rude, very impolite. They kind of speak their mind regardless of social mores or social conventions. If somebody were to lampoon you, or if a newspaper were to lampoon you, that kind of means like strongly criticize, basically go after you. Lavish has a couple of meanings. If you describe something as lavish, it's very luxurious, full of money, very nice. But if you lavish someone with something, it essentially means to overwhelm them with it or to dump a whole bunch on them. Lugubrious means like very sad. Even, saying this word, it just sounds like sadness. Macabre means very gruesome or very brutal. If you watch a lot of television today, you'll notice that it's quite macabre. It's very brutal. It likes to like The Boys on Amazon. Morose means very sad. It's kind of sullen. It's very similar to lugubrious there. Officious has a couple of meanings. The first meaning is like very domineering, someone who takes control, but maybe they shouldn't, someone who's kind of exerting themselves in a domineering way. But it can also mean someone who just doesn't mind their own business, gets all up in your business. A ramification is a consequence, typically a negative consequence. Everything we do has ramifications, so we do need to consider those. Serene, of course, means very calm, very placid, very tranquil. Think about a cabin on the lake. Supplant means to replace something or someone. If somebody is supplanted by a new hire, that means you probably just lost your job. That's bad news. Tacit means something is implied. It's kind of indirectly stated. They don't say it directly, but it is tacit. Transcend means to go beyond something. We all try to transcend kind of like this realm, this earth. I don't know how successful we'll be, but many people have tried that before. And then a treatise is a written work or a written composition, typically like an essay or a book that's like arguing something, or it's kind of academic in nature.